Hello everyone, welcome you again on Clear Concept platform. Today we will learn about static and dynamic balancing, chapter number 3 of Dynamics of Machinery. First of all, we have to learn what is a static and dynamic balancing. So here about what is a balancing. Balancing is the process of designing or modifying machinery so that the unbalance reduced to an acceptable level and if possible is eliminated entirely. It means when you are making a machine, you have to be sure that mass on machine will be uniformly arranged. There will not be any unbalancing of mass present. Uniformly balanced mass will create balanced force. But if by any cause there is an unbalanced force create, then we have to correct the mass arrangement and balance the unbalanced force. For managing unbalancing force, we have to use balancing. We can done balancing by modifying machinery. We have to try best for reaching unbalance at a level where machine works perfectly without any extra noise or jerk. Now let's see simple example. Like we all sit on chair, but it has a 3-4 support and any of that support is broken, then unbalance of chair is disturbed and we will fall down. Or if support of the chair are not same in thickness and arrangement, then chair can also not bear the weight or not the balance the weight. Other example is fan. If one of blade of fan is broken, then unbalancing is created on fan. This unbalance create noise and opposite side of broken blade will be bent by unbalanced weight. Here is another device which is known as a turbine. Here yellow color indicates blade. Some of its blade is bended, so due to this unbalanced mass it cannot work properly. Here we apply a red metal on blended blade for balancing purpose. If all the blades are broken or bended, then we have to change all the blades. But here only few blades bended and we can manage it by addition of support like red metal we use. So here we can modify balancing definition in another terms. Balancing is by redistributing the mass which may be accomplished by addition or remove of mass from various machine members. It means balancing is not a part of to remove the mass. You can also add the mass to balance your system. So now balancing have a two types. One is a static balancing and another one is a dynamic balancing. In static balancing, we will talk about only force. Force should be of equilibrium in the system. Where dynamic balancing, we will discuss about force and couple should be in equilibrium. So let's understand first static balancing. Before starting static balancing, I want to give you one example. When crane is lifting any object and this object having weight more compared to the crane acceleration force, then at that time we neglect the acceleration force which produced by motion. So this is an example of static balancing. Here only we talked about force which stationary. But when you will consider the acceleration force along with weight, then this example convert from static to dynamic balancing because motion is considered, so couple also act. Now we go to forward to type of balancing in the first static balancing. So first question in your mind, what is a static balancing? So the definition of static balancing is a system of rotating masses is said to be in static balancing if the combined mass center of system lies axis on the rotation. To understand and this we can use one diagram. Here one axis which is known as x, y and z. In these three axes, one axis which is a y is rotating with constant angular velocity omega, and the three mass is placed in the xz plane. These three mass is, one is a m1 r1, m2 which is placed from r2 from the center. Third one is a m3 which is placed from the center to mass radius is r3. These all mass are rotating to y-axis from and producing centrifugal force vector. So centrifugal force, also known as in equation m1 r1 omega square for the mass 1, same for mass 2 will be the m2 r2 omega square, and the for third mass is m3 r3 omega square. These masses create unbalanced force. For balancing this, we have to add another mass. See here, to balance this force, we have add one mass which is a mc at the radius of rc from the center. So now come back to definition. It says that combined mass center of system lies axis on a rotation. Means here center created by mass m1, m2, m3 should be lie on a rotating axis y. But due to unbalanced force, it could be done. So for balancing this, we put mass mc so that your system will be balanced and the center of the all masses is lie on the rotation axis. So here all the mass in the same plane, and the force is summation of all three force of the system. Here I am not adding the mc force because this force is we added to balance the system. All think that how we decide how much mass we have to put at what radius for balancing. For this we have to learn about two methods on static balancing. One is a graphical method, another one is an analytical method. In the graphical method you have to draw, and in the analytical method you have to solve maths equation. So first we will talk about graphical method. In the graphical method, the definition is a system rotor is said to be statically balanced if the vector sum of forces close polygon. So here I am showing one diagram in which all mass are placed in the same plane and producing some centrifugal forces. So here from the mass m1 will be the force m1 r1 omega square. But here all the mass created centrifugal force and omega square is a constant term, so we removed it from the all the masses. So drawing this m1 r1 force in plane, it's showing like one arrow. The length of one arrow or one line will be the showing magnitude of centrifugal force produced by mass m1 and the direction of that. Same thing we can done for the mass m2 and the mass m3. These three masses is system mass, but the mc mass is a you have added the extra mass, and to balance the system you have to sure that your polygon will be close. So here to make a polygon close, I am joining the line by M3 R2 M1 R1. This line length showing you the MCRC means the force produced by MC mass, and the direction is showing in which direction the mass you have to kept in your system. So now we will move to analytical method. Now talk about analytical solution. To understand this method, first see this diagram. Here one mass m1 placed in xy plane with some radius r at angle theta 1 from the horizontal. This mass creates centrifugal force in outward direction. This force produced at some angle, so there will be a two component of that. One is a cos component and another one is a sine component. Same concept for mass m2 and m3, which place at some radius respectively r2 and r3 and angle theta 2 and theta 3. Let's see condition of analytical method is summation f is equal to 0, but here we have a component of force. So summation of force is equal to 0 will be modified in the summation of fx is equal to 0 and summation fy is equal to 0, which showing that the force in the x direction will be 0 and the summation of force in the y direction should be 0. To find resultant force or balance force, we have to take resultant force equation, which is known as a Fr is equal to under root Fx square plus Fy square. To find resultant force and the angle of that from the horizontal, we have to apply one more equation, which is known as a tan theta is equal to summation of Fy divided by summation of Fx, which showing that the sum of y direction force upon the sum of x direction force. Put this all condition in given figure. First of all, here I am using summation fx is equal to 0, in which all cos component cover up and right hand side of equation will be 0. So here the equation you can see m1 r1 omega square cos theta 1 plus m2 r2 omega square cos theta 2 plus m3 r3 omega square cos theta 3 plus mc rc omega square cos theta c. But here you know mass m1, m2, m3 and the radius r1, r2, r3, r4. So you only know only one term, which is a mcrc omega square cos theta c, and the same equation we can use for y direction force. So here summation of y is equal to 0. So m1 r1 omega square sin theta 1 plus m2 r2 omega square sin theta 2 plus m3 r3 omega square sin theta 3. But here you know these three conditions, but you don't know the mc rc omega square sin theta c. So by taking the ratio of these two equations, you can find angle, and by finding this angle you put in any one of equation, you will get mc rc omega square. It means force produced by mass mc you can. So here we cover up both methods, static balancing. Now move to dynamic balancing. In your mind first question rise, what you mean by dynamic balancing? So, a system of rotating masses is in dynamic balance when there does not exist any resultant centrifugal force as well as resultant couple. It means in the system no centrifugal force and no couple. Your system should be in balanced form. Here you can see one shaft on which two forces are acting, which are equal and opposite, but couple produce on that shaft in anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise. Here you can notice force in the system is in equilibrium, but couple produce in the system not in equilibrium. Condition due to that system will jerk or unbalance. From the animation you can see that one rotor placed on shaft, this rotor shaking along with rotating, because here force balance but couple did not balance. Let's understand condition of dynamic balancing. So there are two conditions. One is a force balancing and another one is a couple balance. To understand this, take one diagram here. One shaft of length L on which two mass placed with some radius. These masses create centrifugal force in outward direction, such as a from the mass m1 will be m1 r1 omega square and from the mass m2 will be the m2 r2 omega square. So here you can notice the mass in equal and opposite direction, so it kill each other. So but here couple is not in a one direction or killing each other. So here couple is produced in the anti-clockwise direction. Due to that, we have to take one plane. So here I am taking one plane which divide this shaft into L by 2. So here first we write force in this system. It will be m1 r1 omega square plus m2 r2 omega square. Where you are going to write couple, you have to take one plane. So here I am taking one plane between m1 and m2 mass, so that I can write m1 r1 omega square, which is a force, into the perpendicular distance between plane which you have decided, and from the m1 will be the L by 2 plus same thing for the mass m2. It means m2 r2 omega square into the perpendicular distance L by. In dynamic balancing, also two methods. One is a graphical and another one is a analytical. But graphical method we will discuss in upcoming videos in details. So here I am telling you only analytical method condition, which is same as a static balancing condition. Along with that, one extra condition added, which is a summation of m or summation of c equal to 0. It means momentum or couple summation will be 0. To understand dynamic balancing, let's take one example. On wheel alignment or wheel balancing, in which force acting on that and couple produced by non-uniform mass will be calculated. So here you can see a wheel rotating along with vibration shows us that wheel is not balanced. It means force are balanced but couple is not balanced. Due to that, it's rotating also along with that vibrating. So in this lecture we have covered up static balancing and dynamic balancing and their condition and their solution methods. All enjoyed this session. See you soon all.